We are now in orbit of Tau Dewa 3, Admiral.
Thank you, Captain. What are its defences like?
The Coalition has a small fleet in orbit, but it looks to be primarily refitted civilian ships. We should make short work of them.
We certainly have so far. Send a small detachment to deal with them. What are the resources of this planet?
It's an agrarian colony. There are plenty of mineral deposits, but they aren't currently being exploited. Nothing of particular note. Population? A little over 12 million, primarily concentrated in a few cities on the coasts of the southeastern continent.
A garrison would likely take around 50,000 troops. I'd rather not lose any more from our fleet here.
Sir, we're being messaged by the Administrator for the planet.
Let's hear it.
Please, Orvan vessels, withdraw your attacks. We formally surrender, please.
So nothing we haven't heard before. I take it that their fleet has been dealt with.
Yes, sir. They've launched various escape pods and vessels, but they should be easily dealt with.
I've no doubt. Have the fleet target 85% of the pods. Let the last 15% go.
Sir, why would we let the enemy go?
All the other planets we have taken from this coalition have been of some use to the homeland. This planet is not, and should be dealt with accordingly. I rather think that with what I have planned, we'd ought to leave some witnesses for the coalition to interview.
And why is that?
Because if we didn't, Tau Dewa 3 would be just another colony that goes dark. They wouldn't know whether we'd attacked in force or just did a hit and run on their communications array here. But leaving survivors who can tell stories of how effortlessly we destroyed their defences, that demoralises the enemy. And a demoralised enemy will fall with the lightest of pushes.
I see. That is unconventional.
In time, I trust that it will become second nature to our commanders. Until then, have the remainder of the fleet take up geostationary orbits above the major population centres. Prepare kinetic rounds.
Aye, sir.
Bombard the planet. We've no use for it. No need to waste a garrison keeping it under control.
Aye, sir.
Very well. Chart a course of the next system on my plan. Have the entire fleet depart as soon as the bombing runs are completed. No need to leave any ships behind to guard a barren rock. And so, victory comes one step closer.
I've come up with a few more potential names for the ship, Jen.
Alright, hit me.
Okay, there's 3. The Capella, the Auriga, and the Sadatoni.
How did you come up with that lot?
Well, in your culture, surnames tend to be taken from names of stars, right?
Yeah, mostly.
So, when viewed from Earth, before, well, it got destroyed, Hijra was a part of the constellation Auriga. 2 of the other stars in that constellation are Capella and Sadatoni.
Out of those, I like Capella the most.
I'm inclined to agree.
So are you going with Capella?
I've not decided just yet, but it's better than any of the other ideas we've had.
I'll keep working on names then, for now. It's something to do at least.
Yeah. Any updates on the landing permit, Davey?
Our request is still being processed. I'll give him a few more minutes before I ask for another update.
It doesn't normally take this long to get a planetary landing sorted. What's the hold-up for?
I couldn't say for sure, but given how bold the Orvans have been this past week, I can't blame them for exercising caution. Most likely they're just double-checking our security profiles.
I can't imagine that would take long for me. I'm guessing I'll be needing to use the Android ruse again.
Your file does say that you are one now. Hopefully we should avoid a situation like on R4 this time round, though.
That's not something I'm particularly eager to relive.
There we are. We're cleared for landing. I can take us in at your leisure, Jen.
I see no reason to stay here in orbit for any longer. Bring us down.
All right. Strap in, everyone.
How long do you reckon it's going to take us to unload everything?
Between myself and the colony's androids, 3 hours? While you can help if you want, I doubt that you'll make much of a difference, given your reduced load-bearing capacity.
You mean I'm not strong enough to properly help out?
I believe that I worded it more diplomatically, but essentially, yes. Please don't take it as an insult against you personally.
Oh no, I'm not going to complain about having less work.
Given my experience with organic life, I'm unsurprised.
You can come with me if you want. We won't be here for long, but we might as well see the colony.
I think I'd like that.
Well, we better not keep the colonists waiting. Let's get the bay door open. Come with me.
Where's the colony? I just see this warehouse.
It's all underground. Most Larventon colonies are. And this close to the galactic core, having it all be subterranean gives some free radiation shielding.
Should I be worried by the amount of radiation we're getting?
We'll only be here for a couple of minutes. The dose will be minuscule. The administrator should come up and welcome us in any minute now.
Well, radiation aside, I'm certainly not complaining about the view. Dark skies and red plants. If this had ever happened on Earth, people would have thought it was the end times.
Reminds me of home. My family's warren in a valley just like this one.
I'm not sure I could ever get used to living underground. Though I guess being on a ship isn't too different.
It's the opposite for me. I don't know how humanity ever survived on the surface of their planet.
Welcome to Aurelia. I trust you are the courier?
I am. I have the full shipment and the manifest here.
Thank you. I hope you do not mind that I have my staff verify that the whole shipment has arrived once it's been unloaded from your vessel.
Not at all. One of my androids is still on the ship and will be available to assist with the unloading.
I will inform my staff. My apologies for the delay in your landing. We've been on high alert since the Orvans took Dewa 3 days ago.
I understand.
You will have free access to the entire colony while you're here. I might suggest that you visit the medical centre, though. I think the staff would be happy to meet the people who are bringing the supplies we so desperately need. We've been left in the frustrating position of having an abundance of doctors and a dearth of medicine.
Well, I'm happy to help in fixing that.
I'm glad. Ordinarily, I'd show you around, but things have become rather hectic since Dewa. We have a lot of the refugees here.
Of course, I understand. We'll find our way around.
Medical is on sub-level 4. It's clearly signposted from there.
Thank you. Shall we make our way?
I see no reason why not.
Looks like the lift is this way. Let's hope they're not too busy.
May I be of assistance?
We're the people who brought the medical shipment in. The administrator said we should just come down here.
Well, I must thank you for alleviating our supply issue. Oh, how long do you intend to stay on Aurelia?
We'll be gone by the end of the day, most likely.
Very well. I shan't bother giving you the Hijra shot then for the radiation.
Thank you, anyway.
Have you been offered the full tour of the colony yet?
The administrator would have, but they were rather busy.
Yes, Haraliyen does rather have their hands full for the moment. I can spare one of my doctors, though. We're a little overstaffed as it is. I think that Sant would be happy to have a break anyway. Sant?
Yes, Dr. Sabik?
We have a guest here that has yet to have the full tour. Would you mind doing the honour?
Not at all. I take it the administrator was busy?
Yes.
Well, no worries. Come with me.
So, how long have you been a doctor?
Oh, just over 250 years now, though I must admit my talents lie more in the veterinary practices. Working on colonies like this always offers new challenges, figuring out how to treat the indigenous life. That being said, it is nice to be dealing with patients that can tell me what's actually wrong.
I can imagine. So you've been at this a while?
Well, one of the boons of the long Endari lifespan is that we get the opportunity to try many different things. I haven't always worked as a doctor or a vet, but it's what I enjoy most. I like to think of myself as a learner, first and foremost.
I envy the type of life you can live.
It has its drawbacks. Certainly my physiology does. Most of us need cybernetic enhancements to live on planets with gravity like your homeworlds. That's why we tend to group together in places like this, where the gravity's a little lower.
I was going to mention there seems to be a lot of your species here.
Yes, there was some reluctance to found a colony so close to the front, but it's working out all right. You seem rather quiet, Ms.
Campbell.
Campbell. Is everything all right?
I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I might go back to the ship if that's all right, Jen.
Sure. I can come with you if you want.
I'll be okay on my own.
Okay. Well, I'll see you in a bit.
I know how she feels. The colony can be a little cramped at times, and what with there not being any other humans here.
Excuse me?
Your friend. She's human. I assumed you knew.
I did. I just don't know how you knew.
I had my suspicions from the moment I first saw you two. The way she carries herself, it'll fool most people into thinking she's an android, but for those of us who worked with humans before the disappearance, they'll probably catch on.
We were trying to keep it a secret.
Well, it's safe with me. So, which of the companies finally cracked it?
I'm not sure that I follow.
Which of the big corporations finally figured out how to clone humans? I did some work for a couple of them on it, decades ago, but we all came to the conclusion that it was impossible.
I found her adrift in space, in stasis. She's from before the disappearance.
Now this, I have to hear. Tell me everything.
Oh, I can help with that.
Your assistance is not required. Please make way.
Damn industrial models. They give me the creeps. And I'm an android, so that's saying something. Campbell, what are you doing here? I thought you were going to go see the colony with Jen.
I needed to get some space. It was all a bit claustrophobic in there.
I'm not sure that the ship will be much better.
I'll take a walk if I need to.
Don't go too far. I don't want to have to rescue you from whatever this planet's native life forms are.
I'll be sure not to. Edythe, show me pictures of Doggerland.
Do you have a preference for time period?
Sure, yeah. Early 2400s.
Displaying. Do you have any other requests?
Yeah. Play some Sati, please.
Playing.
That's nice. I think I'm gonna have a little sleep.
Oh, and there's a really good salad bar here too, if that's your sort of thing. Most of my Larventon friends like it.
I'll have to give it a try before I go.
You don't seem entirely convinced.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted.
Is it about Campbell?
It is. I'm worried for her.
Why?
I'm not sure. I guess I'm just concerned at how she doesn't seem to be coping with her loss. I'm worried that she's ignoring it and just bottling up her feelings.
Have you talked to her about it?
I haven't. We've only known each other for a week and a half, and I don't want to annoy her, especially if she's not comfortable talking about it.
I can understand that, but I think it might be worth your while to just ask her how she is. She may well want to talk to you, but has the same concerns.
She might. I just don't want to jeopardise the growing friendship we have.
From everything you've said, I don't think you need to worry. You both seem to like each other a lot.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. We met and everything just felt right. It's like I've known her for years.
Friendships like that are 1 in a million. I've had my fair share, and trust me, you never forget them.
Thank you. You're rather good at this. Did you ever train as a therapist or something?
No, it's just experience. I've had family and friends, and sooner or later you learn what the right things to say are. A life like mine gives you a different perspective on it all. You'd think it makes you more distant, but it only accentuates every little moment. Makes you hold on to it all that much more.
I imagine you have quite a few stories from your times.
Oh, don't get me started. The amount of careers I've had, hobbies I've taken up. I could fill a library with all the stupid things I've gotten myself into. I briefly had an acting career, you know.
Oh, were you in anything that I'd have seen?
Oh, nothing I'll freely admit to. There's a reason I don't act anymore.
There's a story behind that, I can tell.
There is. I mean, it was years ago. Back when there were still humans.
Wow. What were they like?
Humans? Aren't you friends with one?
Yeah, one. I'm not a scientist, but that doesn't seem to me to be a very good sample size.
That's fair. I met a lot of humans back in my day. There were as many of them as there were your lot, Larventans. But nothing like you. They were all so different. I guess that's just what happens when you develop interstellar travel before your home planet is even unified, though.
I'm part human, you know.
I figured you might be. There's definitely something about you that isn't wholly Larventan. I mean, the size of your ears suggests that most of your family was from Larium, but the shape of them is a little uncommon. But much more ordinary for those of a mixed heritage.
Oof, you know your stuff.
Comes with experience. Still, if your family is from Larium, the surface here must bring back some memories.
It does. I grew up somewhere like here, though our warren was a lot smaller than this. My dad was a farmer, my mum was a courier.
Looks like you took after your mum.
I did. The farm went to my youngest brother when Dad died, but my sister's now.
We could use more farmers here. We're still a little too reliant on shipments from the rest of the coalition for my liking.
I'm not sure I'd want her this close to the front, but I'll let her know the next time I get a chance to talk to her.
I understand you wanting to keep her safe. Still, we're well defended here, and a place like this could be a nice home away from home. It certainly is for me.
Personally, I'd like to think of my home as being in the stars. If it's alright, I think I'm gonna go and check on Campbell. Make sure she's alright.
Would it be okay if I came along? I'd love to see your ship.
Sure. She's an old human design, by the way.
Oh, I can't wait.
Slacking off, are we, Davey?
My assistance in unloading the cargo was not required.
So, what have you been doing then?
I've been working on analysing the jump drive. The theory is rather complicated, but I believe that I have the gist of it down.
Any idea where the energy being came from?
Not just yet, but I'm working on it. Quite frankly, I'm amazed it even works. It's quite the testament to human ingenuity.
I'll admit, I'm feeling a little lost here. I'm Sant, one of the doctors for the colony, by the way.
Pleasure to meet you. The jump drive has a bit of a long story.
And one I can tell later. Have you seen Campbell at all?
She came through here about an hour ago. She said she was going to her room. Is everything all right with her? She seemed a little off.
I'm not sure. That's why we're here.
I'd offer to come with you, but I'm not sure how much help I'd be. If you need me, just call.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Come in.
Final refits to the Rosen are taking some time.
Is everything alright?
I was hoping to ask you the same thing. I brought Sant along, if you don't mind.
It's okay. I know you're human.
Oh. Did you tell them?
Sant figured it out on their own, actually.
I had some experience with your kind, and you sort of stuck out. It's nice to know that at least one of you survived, though.
Yeah. So, what was it you wanted to ask?
I just wanted to know if you were okay. I know you said you left because it was too busy, but I get the feeling there was something more.
I don't know. I'm still coming to terms with all of this. I don't know how to put it into words.
Talk me through it. Do you mind if I take a seat?
No, go ahead.
I'll give you two some space.
Who was that I heard when I came in?
Captain Horvath. She was my commanding officer from the Navy. I've been going through her logs, and when I listened to them...
It's like she's still here.
I feel so lost right now. I don't mean to unload on you, I'm a complete stranger.
No, go ahead. That's why I came here, to help people. I think I know how you feel. You're a woman out of time.
Yeah. I've stepped back into the galaxy, and it's so familiar, but so foreign too. And I don't know what my place in it is.
You skipped over 2 centuries in what must seem like an instant. A bit of culture shock's inevitable.
But it's not just that. I've lost so much so fast, and I can't even properly comprehend it. I just feel angry.
At what?
I don't know. The universe, fate. I don't even know what took humanity. I don't know what robbed me of a proper future here.
From what Jen told me, it sounds like you're trying to figure that out though, aren't you?
In theory, yes. But I haven't the faintest idea of where to start. When we were back at R4 discussing what we were going to do, it all seemed so bold and adventurous. But now I'm actually here trying to live it, and it's just normal. I like Jen and I like Davey, but I'm not sure I can do this.
Then tell them.
I would, but I'm so afraid of letting her down. I said that I'd help, and I don't know what she'd think of me if I backed out at the first sign of trouble.
She cares for you, a lot. The way you speak about each other, I can hardly believe it's not even been 2 weeks that you've known her. The kind of friendship you have building, it's rare. And trust me, something like this won't get in the way of it.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Do you want me to send Jen in? It would be better if she heard this from you.
Yes, please.
Alright, I'll be outside if you need me.
You're looking a little better.
I had some things I needed to get off my chest.
Did you, want to share any of them with me?
Yeah, actually. I'm not sure that I can do this.
Do what?
What you do. Ferrying supplies around the place. I know we're helping people by doing it, but I feel like I could be doing so much more. We have the jump drive, for God's sake.
But we don't know how to work it safely.
I know, that's part of what's so frustrating. The galaxy is so different to what I remember. Part of me is still waiting to wake up, for my bunkmate to just tell me this is all a dream, but I know it's never going to happen.
I'm sorry.
I can't lie anymore, Jen. Not about who I am. I know that it's for my own safety, but it means that I only get to be me when I'm on the ship. It doesn't feel like living.
Okay, we can drop the android ruse.
Thank you. I've had to hide myself like this before, and it just eats away at you.
What do you mean? If you don't mind my asking.
My family back on Earth, they were very religious. There are things about me I can't change that they wouldn't have approved of.
Did they ever find out?
No. When Earth got destroyed, I was the only one that was away. I never got any closure with any of them. I guess that's what a lot of this boils down to. That I don't have any closure about humanity. I can't comprehend the scale of it all. I'm just stuck in grief, but I can't mourn.
I'm here for you. You take all the time that you need.
Thank you. Would it be alright if we went back to the colony? I think I could use the distraction.
Of course. We'll go whenever you're ready. We might as well bring Davey along too. He could probably do to get away from the screens. He's been working on the jump drive.
Any luck?
He says he's making good headway, but I'm not sure how close he is to actually getting it working.
I'll go down and help him later then. But until then, we have a colony to visit. It's probably just as well we're not hiding the fact that I'm human now that I think about it.
What do you mean?
Well, you sussed me out in the course of a few minutes. It stands to reason there'll be others who could.
Perhaps.
Well, I may be the only human, but there's a good mix of all sorts here.
Yes, the colony was designed to be for all the different species in the coalition. We're still getting started, but things are going well so far.
Seems the sort of place I could settle down. Though I think I'd want a nice little cottage on the surface.
We could arrange that, you know. We're always looking for new colonists.
Thank you. I'd rather keep on moving right now. Maybe someday.
I know how you feel. I must admit that I do rather miss the nomadic life. But I'm here now, might as well make the most of it.
You know, we could always use a medic on my ship.
Thank you. I'll consider it. Tell you the truth, I'm not sure how popular I am among the patients. I think that there's something about being treated by a hulking bear person that tends not to put people at ease.
I'm not sure. You look like you give excellent hugs.
That I do. I'll ask the administrator before you leave.
Why did you refer to yourself as a bear person?
Are you blind? My species resemble ursine animals in the same way that Larventans are leporine, and humans were ape-like. It's perfectly understandable.
Completely.
I'm still not sold. Still, each to their own, especially with regards to language.
Let's go speak to the administrator before this conversation gets any worse.
Well, it'll be a shame to see you go, Sant, but I'm glad you're happy with the decision.
So you're approving the transfer?
See no reason why not. The medical team is overstaffed. Your vacancy can be filled with very little worry. That being said, my weekly movie night won't quite be the same. I was going to have us all watch Pie...
All due respect, sir, I'd rather keep that particular part of my life a little quiet for now.
Still haven't quite got over that old shame then?
No, sir.
Well, I wish you all the best on your future travels. And do drop me a line every now and again. Let me know how you're doing.
Of course. Thank you.
So, how did it go?
It's been approved. I can leave with you, no issue.
Well, you'd better get your stuff moved onto the ship. Say any last goodbyes.
That shouldn't take too long. If you wouldn't mind helping me with my stuff.
Not at all. It would be nice to feel useful at least once today.
Okay, I'll show you where my quarters are. Come along.
You're putting together quite the band of misfits, aren't you?
Well, with there being 3 of us organics on the ship now, would be handy to have someone who knows proper first aid.
Oh, I'm not complaining. At least have someone I can talk to about the old times now, who actually lived through them.
I can imagine that would be nice. How are you doing now?
I'm still processing. Everything that's happened while I was in stasis, it still hurts. Maybe it'll always hurt. But I've got a good friend to confide in now. I'll try not to suffer in silence too much.
That's good. And I've taken what you said to heart, about feeling like you could do more.
Yeah?
While we'll continue to do the supply runs for now, I'll focus our energy on getting the jump drive working. Like we were saying, it could turn the tide of the war in the Coalition's favour. God no, we need a victory with the Orvan advances this past week.
Looks like I have my work cut out for me then.
We all do.
I understand that the medical supplies arrived safe and sound. Well done, Hijra.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a new assignment?
I'm sending the details now. We're on full alert here with the latest attacks. 2 more systems have fallen to the Orvans, and we need all the arms we can get in case of an attack. There's a depot at Sigma Orientis, a little over 4 days from your current position. I trust that our entire delivery will make it this time?
Yes, sir.
Good. Berley out.
No rest for the weary.
On that note, I think we'd best get back to work on the jump drive. Sant, you wouldn't happen to have any expertise in quantum physics, would you?
It's been a few decades, but I might be of use.
Come with us then. You might be able to give us a hand.
And leave me here all by my lonesome?
I trust that you can keep yourself entertained. I vow that we will not speak about you behind your back whatsoever.
I'm worried that you will now.
We'll keep it nice.
You'd better. AD, plot a course to Sigma Orientis.
Course plotted. Should I engage?
Yes, please.
We've received the latest intelligence report, sir. I think you should give them a read.
I take it from your tone that they convey more than just the typical coalition is struggling to cover the expanded front.
Yes, sir. There's another report like the one we had from R4 earlier in the week.
Concerning?
The chatter about humans is only growing, and we think we know why now, thanks to our assets on Aurelia.
Do elaborate.
We believe that the Coalition has found a human that survived the disappearance and brought them on side.
I'm sure it is rumour, nothing more. Regardless, I will read through the report and make a judgment with all of the facts. Thank you, Captain. That will be all.
Sir.
Humanity. Always with that trick up its sleeve. You always were my most cunning enemy. A pity my subordinates never had to face you. Perhaps that would have hardened them. But if you have returned at last, I'll just have to make sure that your species goes extinct properly this time. I seek an audience with...
We know why you are here. You wish for us to intervene on the side of the Coalition.
The situation is desperate. If you do not help, the galaxy will fall to the Orvans.
Your situation is far from desperate. Given the current reality, there are thousands of paths you may still take to prevent your fall. Mr. Brayton values his privacy. His power must be wielded from the shadows, so as to prevent anyone else from taking it.
Surely you could influence their government, though, so discontent among their people? Mr. Brayton surely does not wish to see the entire galaxy under Orvan rule.
Mr. Brayton wishes to see what is best for Mr. Brayton. If he believes that it involves the Orvans believing that they rule the galaxy, then so be it. It is for you to prove otherwise. Your case is based solely on desperation. Your request for intervention is denied.
Please, I have information that is of great importance to Mr. Brayton.
If Mr. Brayton does not yet know it, it is of no importance. Guards, take them away.
There is another human.
Go on.